everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Jesenia Poissant, and welcome to those of you who are new to my channel. Thank you to all my new subscribers. I appreciate each and every one of you. Today I'm going to be sharing 10 tips for the highly sensitive person, for people who are highly sensitive. Are you someone who is really empathic? Are you an empath, an intuitive empath? It's the same thing, highly sensitive person, people. HSP is the acronym, goes along with also being an empath. I am sharing this video with you today because there is so much going on in our world at this time. This video can help anybody at any time, but particularly I wanted to do this video at this time because there's so much on the outside world going on, and we really need to learn as highly sensitive people to tune this stuff or to change the energy. So let's get right into it. Let's get into the 10 tips I have to share with you today on how to help yourself with being a highly sensitive person. The first tip that I have for you is awareness. If you're a highly sensitive person and you're not aware of your daily routine, your daily life, and the energies that you're connecting with, it could be even more overwhelming for you than it needs to be. And here's why. When you're in the present moment with how you're feeling each day, when you're connecting with yourself each day instead of like numbing yourself or just going on an autopilot, you will connect with yourself and you'll start to be able to realize whose emotions that you're absorbing, whose energies that you're absorbing, what works for you, what doesn't work for you, because we're all different. We're all different, and a lot of us who are highly sensitive people are very much the same, but different tools are gonna help different people. Being aware and being in the present moment of how you're feeling each day, checking in with yourself each day is essential for a highly sensitive person, because that is going to allow you to check in with yourself. It's going to allow you to realize how you're feeling that day and what you need to do to nourish yourself in that day, how you're going to do your self routine that day, how you're going to communicate with others that day, and what you're going to do in that day. Whether, let's first say, for example, if you're gonna go out to eat with a whole group of friends, or if you're gonna stay inside, just be silent and meditate, like different things like that. Like really paying attention to how you're feeling in that present moment. And you might feel fine in the morning and then later on you're super emotional. If that is something that you've experienced, it's because you've attracted somebody's energy. You absorbed somebody else's energy and you're not paying attention where that's coming from. So awareness with anything is key. Being aware, being mindful, being conscious. There's different things that you could do to help yourself and being aware in your daily routine. Tip number 1, awareness, kind of goes into tip number 2. They all kind of link to each other. They all intermingle with each other. The second tip I have for you is filtering out your emotions. Filtering out your emotions is, again, essential for the HSP people. For the HSP, yeah, you know me. All right, corny, I know, guys. Filtering out your emotions is super important, and here's why. You're connecting typically, unless you're in isolation right now because of Corona. But normally, you're probably most likely communicating, connecting with people on a daily, whether it's you're going into 7-Eleven, you're going to school, you're going to work. Like there's something that you're always connecting in some sort of way, unless you're completely introvert and don't even leave your house. But the percentage of us need to, work. We need to have a career. We need to go to the grocery store and so on. You get what I'm saying. You need to learn how to filter out your emotions. You need to create a white bubble around yourself. Every morning when I wake up, I visualize myself in white light. I visualize my whole body in white light, whether it's a minute, 2 minutes, 5 minutes, it doesn't matter. But every morning, just filling up your body with white light or filtering yourself with a white bubble, because the essence is not to protect yourself, but to raise your vibration so that you match those same vibrations, when you're connecting with other people. So filtering out your emotions, it's super important because you're absorbing so many people's emotions all the time, and it's really hard to decipher if it's their emotion or your emotion. So if you start feeling an emotion popping up and you're feeling that trigger of emotions and you're starting to feel really emotional, or you're starting to feel high in anxiety, you need to speak to that emotion and say, hey, I see you, I hear you, right now I need to take care of this and I will take care of you later. And now I know some of you might be saying, well, that doesn't work. Sometimes you have to sit in that emotion in that moment and work through it. Here's the thing, when you practice all these steps every single day or throughout your week, you will get better and better at it. You will start to master these tools. But when you're starting off, or if you're aware one day and you're not aware the next day, you're gonna go through a little bit of a roller coaster. You can have something that triggers you, and it could trigger you all day. It could really trigger you all day long. It can affect your day all day long. This has happened to me recently, so I'm no better than anybody else. But here's the thing, we need to start becoming aware using tip number 1. Number 2, we need to start filtering out these emotions. And then when we start doing this on a daily, and when we're paying attention to what we're feeling, how we're feeling in that day, checking in with ourselves, we can start growing, evolving, and we could start building ourselves emotionally stronger, becoming more emotionally stable. And some days, unfortunately, some days are gonna not be so good days, and other days are gonna be good. It's learning about yourself, learning what works for you and what works for others in your environment, in your home. So filtering out those emotions, sometimes you're gonna have to, talk to yourself and say to those emotions, hey, I'm gonna pay attention to you later. At this moment, I am busy. And that can tell your brain, okay, I'm gonna do this later, so that you can center yourself better. And when you surround yourself with that bubble of white light, I like to also visualize, if I'm feeling some sort of like low vibrating energy, is visualizing black energy going out and white light coming in. But you don't need to do that. But if you're someone who is a highly sensitive person or an intuitive empath, you're someone who is pretty visual. You most likely are a visual person. If you're not, it's no big deal. I'm a very visual person, and I'm just sharing my journey with you and my tips that I'm using right now and that I use throughout my journey. Using those visualization techniques, and if you're not someone who is visual, find a meditation that is going to guide you and that you can hear. If you're someone who is auditory, there's all different senses. There's all different ways that we can do this. Let's get into tip number 3. And tip number 3 is to really know who's in your circle. Who are your friends, your family members? Are any of them that bring you down? They're negative, have negative energy, toxic energy? Do you feel drained at the end of the day when you're hanging out with these people? Finding your tribe is super important as an HSP, as an intuitive empath. And here's why. People who are negative, they are energy vampires, and they're going to take your energy. That's what that means. They're sucking the energy out of you because they see that you are a light. They see that you have a very energetic aura. They see that you're a high vibrational being, that you're someone who could feel so many different energies. They can see that, they can feel it, and they're gonna suck it out of you. I know this from experience, and I know you guys know from experience. This has happened to me several times in my lifetime, and it's really, really essential to create your tribe. Having positive people, having people that uplift you, having people that are vibrating you higher on a higher vibration and not keeping you low. And that doesn't mean that some people have bad days, because we all live a human experience. We're spiritual beings having a human experience. People will have bad days. People will have a bad week or a bad month. That doesn't mean that person is bad. You really need to pay attention who you're bringing into your environment, who you are interacting with, who you're interconnected with, because it's super important. It's super important for your energetic field and for your temple, for your being. You gotta take care of yourself. Sometimes that can be hard. There were times that I was alone and didn't have any friends really to talk to because there wasn't a match in the vibration. And I rather be alone than be with people who are negative and that are gonna bring me down. Picking your circle and your tribe goes into step number 4, which is boundaries. Creating boundaries, learning how to say no. As intuitive empaths, as highly sensitive people, it's really hard for us to say no. For me, it's still hard, even though I created a boundary and boundaries with people. And when you do start creating boundaries with certain people who are toxic, you're gonna realize that they leave, that they no longer match up with your vibration. And sometimes this can be uncomfortable. This is how we evolve, this is how we grow, and yes, there's an attachment there and there's sadness, and it could be someone that you've been friends with for a very long time. I've been there. But if someone's gonna be an energy vampire, they don't deserve you. You want people to uplift you. You want people to be in the same energy as you. You don't want people to bring you down, because those people essentially, they're jealous of who you are. They're jealous of you, of what your purpose is and what you're here to do, and they're essentially stopping from you doing your purpose. Do you really want someone to be in the way of what your true purpose is? I don't think so, right? None of us would want that. So really, creating boundaries with people is super important, and even people that you live with or your family members that you are close with, you could still create those boundaries. It is essential. Saying no is super important, because when you say no, you'll say yes to the right things when a time comes. But if you're saying yes, yes, yes to everything, you're gonna be drained. Plain and simple. You're gonna be exhausted emotionally, physically, and mentally. And it's body, mind, and spirit. It's all interconnected, right? It's all interconnected. So yes, we need to set those boundaries. As intuitive empaths, as highly sensitive people, we are super caring. We care about people, we care about the planet, we care about others, and we see people's potential. Feel bad, but that's exactly what they want you to feel. Those people don't serve you, that you are not responsible. You are not responsible, I repeat, you are not responsible for those people's lives. You're not responsible for how they see you. You're not responsible for those people's lives and how they live their life. Misery likes company, right? Do you want to be in that company of misery? I don't think so. And if you do, then I don't know why you're watching this video. Tip number 5 is to get out into nature. Nature is medicine. Going to the beach, going for a walk each day, at least once a day. Obviously, if it's not such a nice day out, I have a dog, so I have to go outside regardless, but if it's not such a nice day out, that's fine. You know, work up to each day, getting outside, going to the beach, connecting, grounding, connecting with nature. It is medicine for us highly sensitive people, for intuitive empaths. Nature is medicine. It's one way to really recharge and connect, and to really get those energies filtered out, those emotions filtered out. Because when you ground, when you connect your feet to the ground, when you connect in nature, when you're grounding, there is an electron exchange. Your negative electrons are connecting with the earth electrons, with the positive electrons, and there is a change that happens, and it's a great way to cleanse ourselves physically, mentally, and our aura, really to cleanse us energetically. Having plants, having a garden, being around things that are alive, and it's gonna raise your vibration and it's going to cleanse you. Tip number 6 is to clear your energy. There's all different ways that you can clear your energy. It could be with sage, it could just be simply in solitude, taking Epsom salt baths. Epsom salt is really great because it's magnesium sulfate, and it really helps to detox, and it really helps with clearing your aura. Or using even bentonite clay, because that pulls impurity and it detoxes you. You could do a mix of both if you'd like. I usually stick to Epsom salt baths, and I will add sometimes essential oils to that. Going out in nature, having Palo Santo if you don't like sage. There's all different ways to clear yourself. You know, visualizing yourself in white light, filtering out those emotions. You might have to do several of these a day, or you might pick one that suits your needs. Don't make it where it's so overwhelming for you that you defeat the purpose. But really, clearing your energy every day is super important as intuitive empaths. And this is your reminder, because we all need reminders. Put on your phone a little notification to remind yourself, because you'll start getting those, you know, triggers and those hits of people's emotions, and that's how it all builds up and it starts to get overwhelming. So when you use these tools and you integrate it into your everyday life, it will start to lessen those triggers. It will start to take your anxiety down. The 7th tip that I have for you is to unplug, retreat, recharge. And nature falls into that category. You need to unplug. This goes with unplugging from social media when you're starting to feel triggers, because triggers, we're the type of people that get triggered all the time. You need to know what your triggers are. With social media, especially at this time, it could be very, very triggering, and it can trigger different things for you. And it's really important to unplug. Unplug for an hour each day, or setting a time to unplug every day, if you're mindlessly scrolling through your phone, it is just not healthy for you. And it especially is not healthy for you if you're a highly sensitive person or an intuitive empath. Unplugging, and also doing a meditation of unplugging. If you ever heard of cutting cords or cutting cords with Archangel Michael, you also need to unplug those cords. I say this all the time in my pick a card readings. You don't take a plug from the outlet and you don't cut it, right? You unplug it. So you energetically have to visualize yourself unplugging those cords along with cutting them energetically, but make sure you're unplugging them and healing that energetic space, because it's super important. Unplugging is super important in an energetic way and in your physical reality with TV or with computer or with your phone, whatever it is. Creating those boundaries, again, even with technology, creating boundaries with that so that you can recharge and retreat. If you're someone who is highly sensitive, you're most likely someone who is more introverted than extroverted. You can have both. I have both. I need to be social. I have to have social interaction. That's also going along with knowing who to have in your tribe, knowing who to let into your home, who is part of your tribe. Retreating and recharging, taking even an hour a day can really nourish you. And sometimes it might be more than an hour. It could be a whole day that you need to just unplug and retreat, or even 3 days. It depends on what's going on in your life. You have to be able to know what you need and start learning what you need to help yourself. The 8th tip that I have for you is to stop taking everything so personal. I know this firsthand. I'm still learning this lesson. I'm still integrating this in my routine because we feel so much energy. We feel everything, right? Everything. We feel energy in the room. We feel individual people's energies. We feel everything. And that can be such a buildup. And we could start taking things personal because we're so sensitive and we care so much. We're so empathetic, right? Empathy and sympathy is two different things. Sympathy is having compassion towards someone. Empathy is feeling everything. It's feeling all of our senses, using all of our senses, and using all the clairs: claircognizance, clairaudience, clairvoyance, clairsentience. We use all those clairs. We feel everything, right? We feel everything. And if you don't know what the 4 clairs are, I'll give you a little snippet. Clairaudience, you hear things. Clairsentience, you feel things. Claircognizance, you just know things. And clairvoyance, you see things. Most of us feel all of these clairs. We utilize all these psychic abilities because we are essentially psychic, because we're vibrating and feeling so many different energies. We're intuitive empaths. That's what all of those essentially mean. Psychic can also means, seeing the future as well. But there's, pieces of that integrate with us and integrate with HSP or intuitive empaths. Stop taking everything so personal. This is something I really need to put on the top of my list, to stop taking everything so personal, because we care. And if someone doesn't answer us, we're like, oh my God, why didn't they answer me? Oh my God, I did something wrong. Oh my God, this person doesn't want to talk to me. Oh my God, I need to remove this person from my circle. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Oh my God. Breathe, inhale, exhale, and slow down. And there's that anxiety buildup, right? Let me know down below. You felt that, right? That's happened to you more than once, right? Happened to me. Stop taking everything so personal. Most of the time, people are not even thinking about you. People are so involved and so into their own life and doing their own thing and living their own experience and going through their own problems and trying to solve their solutions to their problems and going through their own lives. They're not even thinking about you. They also could be someone who's highly sensitive, right? Because if it's your tribe, you just give them space. Give that person space. If that person's meant to be in your life, they're going to come back. I promise you. And if they don't come back, then you know. The truth will come out. The truth will tell you what is real and what is not. Tip number 9 is a daily meditation. Whether it's 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, meditate. Go within as much as you can, whether it's 30 seconds, whatever time you got, you have time to meditate. A daily meditation is really gonna help you, again, clear yourself. It's going to make you go within. It's going to calm your nervous system down. It's going to bring that anxiety down. It can even, depending on the meditation that you do, it can cleanse your energetic aura, your bioenergetic field, right? Your bioenergetic field is the energy that surrounds your temple, your whole body. Meditate. I love using Insight Timer. You can use a subscription if you'd like to pay, but I use the free version of Insight Timer. It's really great, and you can keep up with yourself in milestones of keeping up with yourself every day, like do a little challenge to meditate every day. There's so many different ways you can meditate. YouTube, silent meditation, walking meditation. There's all different kinds of ways to meditate. When you meditate, you're bringing focus to your prana, to your breath, breathing. And that is really going to expand inside your lungs. Your lungs are expanding, your diaphragm, it's connecting with your cells. You're putting oxygen into your cells and into your blood and everything, in your fluids, and everything is circulating better. Meditation is so powerful for so many different things. I highly recommend meditating. And the last tip that I have for you, number 10, is magnesium. Magnesium is amazing. Look up the benefits. Magnesium, I'm sharing this from my journey. Make sure to ask your doctor to take whatever dosage, but I love taking magnesium because it's really gonna calm that anxiety down. It's gonna help with your central nervous system. Again, like I said before, the Epsom salt baths, it's magnesium sulfate. It has magnesium in it. That's why when you take Epsom salt baths, it feels so good. It really helps you sleep. It calms your nervous system down. Soak in a bath for 15 to 20 minutes. Warm to hot water, however you like, not burning hot, but warm to hot. Soak for 15-20 minutes. And not only that, magnesium is great for your muscles and your joints. I, as a massage therapist, recommend people to soak when they're sore or after a massage or after activities, because it really helps nourish that mineral. Magnesium helps nourish your muscles. It helps your bone. Taking a magnesium supplement if you want to, or just eating magnesium from your foods. Kale is an example of high rich in magnesium. Kale, a leafy green. Your diet is essential for being a highly sensitive person, so pay attention to what you're eating as well. Cacao is really high in magnesium and high in iron. So look at different foods that are really good for you that have magnesium in it. It's really gonna help bring your central nervous system down, and be mindful when you're taking these things and doing these things. Connect with your brain, connect with your nervous system, connect with your body and say, this is gonna help calm me down. You really need to be careful with picking a magnesium supplement. This one's from Sprouts. It's a mega magnesium. I really like this. This doesn't bother me, but certain magnesiums can really make your bowels go crazy and you can really have loose bowels. So really ask your doctor, do your own research. But mega magnesium from Sprouts is really good for me, and you could take up to 3 that it says suggested in the bottle. So I tend to take 2 a day. Also, this beautiful natural vitality calm drink is really great. It's called the anti-stress drink. Those of you who have PMS, are women, this is really great for your, right before your period, or if you have insomnia, can't sleep. It's vegan, non-GMO, and it restores healthy magnesium levels. I definitely recommend taking this at night because it can really calm you down and make you sleepy. But it is vegan and it's non-GMO verified. And you can also get these packets. They sell these packets if you're someone that travels a lot, or you're getting triggered, put this in some water and drink it away. That is all the 10 tips that I have for you. If you have anything to add, please leave it down in the comment section down below, and please share your story as a highly sensitive person or an intuitive empath. It could really help all of us come together collectively, sharing our stories, our experiences, and I would love to hear them as well. I really hope these tips helped you and that you could start integrating at least one tip from all these tips that I've shared. Hit the like button if you enjoyed this video and it resonated with you. Subscribe to my channel and hang out with me every Tuesday and Friday are my upload days. Stay gold. Take the time to heal yourself, especially during this time. Do not feel guilty if you're not posting enough, because you can tend to feel that way as well. You need to take care of your spirit, because if you don't take care of yourself and if you're not energetically feeling good, how are you going to help others, right? So take care of yourself, and I hope you have an amazing rest of the week and weekend. Namaste. The light in me honors the light in you. Bye guys.